exudes from his soul and through his spirit. Dr. ABC, please take on the virtual space.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me? Are you hearing me well?
Super clear.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be in this space with you. And as I was sitting here, relaxing, remembering, thinking, sitting in my body, waiting to join in to be a part of this event, it occurred to me that this today, right now, July 30th, 2026, is my first official keynote I'm giving for an Emancipation Day commemoration. I was thinking to myself, have I not ever spoken at an Emancipation Day event before? And I was like, no, because normally I am traveling, and I am traveling. I'm actually coming to you from Jamaica. I am in the hills of St. Anne in Jamaica and getting ready tomorrow to go to Civil Great House, where I will be participating as a member of the audience, as I have done so many times, in the Emancipation Day Vigil. So I am coming to you with lived experience of what it means to sit in a space, celebrating, honoring, remembering, recognizing, respecting, and just holding our ancestors and freedom dear to my heart. And so I am so honored to be here to just speak to you for a few minutes about what it means to me to be a part of an event like this, thinking about emancipation, commemorating, celebrating, honoring, respecting, remembering. And so, as I said to you, this is my first conversation. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, well, it's the right time. And I'm going to tell you why it's the right time, because as I was writing some notes to speak to you, I was thinking about my own work on self. So I am coming to you to share with you some of my own work on self. I want you to take a note of that. The work I have been doing on self-decolonization. You know, a lot of us, we get into these terminologies, especially in academic spaces and advocacy spaces. We get into the terminologies of decolonization and all of these things, and we rush right into it. And in so many spaces, what is lacking is the work on self. When I talk about anti-black racism, when I talk about racism, when I talk about anything to do with blackness, I always talk about the work on self. When I talk about leadership, I talk about the work on self, because a lot of us, I think we get carried away with the work and forget the worker behind the work. And so I love your theme today about black voices and finding our voices. And so I want to share with you about some of the work that I have been doing on self as we talk about emancipation. And so for me, it's about remembering. I had the opportunity in 2022 to go to Ghana. And when you go to Ghana, you know, I did the things that everybody would normally do when you go to, you know, you go back to the motherland. You go to the dungeons. They call them slave castle, but we know they are dungeons. And you may think about what your body will react to. As we think about emancipation, we think about freedom, we think about our ancestors, we think about journeys. And what I can tell you is that you cannot imagine what your body will react to. I could tell you on that day of going back to that space, we were supposed to do 2 of the dungeons. We end up doing only 1. Because after our first dungeon, we exited, and all of us, our bodies could not take anymore for the day. The weight of that memory, the weight of that recognition, the weight of that going into that space, we couldn't take it. But I'm going to tell you what was powerful for us. What was powerful for us was having the opportunity to remember. Having the opportunity to be in a space where we were able to honor and respect the journey, but we were able also to think about the story and the history before our history was interrupted. Oftentimes when we enter these spaces, we tend to forget that Black history did not start across the Middle Passage. Black history did not start when the white man came. Black history started long before that. And I want us to, even as today we're thinking about emancipation, I want us to remember about African civilization and kingdoms and magic that happened before the white man came to the shores. Before our ancestors were dragged thousands of miles across to be here in the West. Be here. And I want us to remember how important that is for us. Knowing who we are. Because oftentimes we talk about our theme about our voices. And oftentimes we do not have a voice because we don't have a space. We do not have a voice because we don't know that we are supposed to speak. We do not have a voice because we do not feel a sense of belonging. We do not have a voice because we are questioning who we are. And so I want to say to all of us, you have a voice and your voice matters. Your voice matters at the CRA. Your voice matters beyond the walls, so to speak, of the CRA. Your voice matters in your communities. Your voice matters in your churches, your synagogues, your temples, wherever you go. Your voice matters when you go on vacation. Your voice matters. I don't know why I'm saying this, but your voice matters when you go on vacation, when you're on a flight, when you're in spaces that you need to know how to occupy. Our voice don't only matters when we come to these events. I see there are 330 of us in this space, and I want to say to us, your voice matters. Right now, I could feel the energy, the ancestors pulling on me, because that's not on my speech anywhere. But I want to let you know your voice don't matter when you're put on a program. Your voice only doesn't only matter when you're on a committee, when you're invited to a space. I want you to walk away today knowing your voice matters in all spaces. When you're in the bank line, when you're going for your mortgage, when you're in public transportation, when you're stopped, when you're in the mall, when you're in the supermarket, when you're in the shopping centers, when you're going into spaces, your voice matters in all spaces. Somebody write that down on your notepad, please. Because oftentimes we are so stuck on our voice mattering when we are invited into certain spaces. So like today, I know my voice matter because I am the guest speaker. But I'm in Jamaica right now. When I go to the beach filled with tourists, excuse me, hello, I know my voice matters. When I'm on the plane in business class, I know my voice matters. Don't let me get into it because I don't have enough time. When I'm ordering something from a restaurant and I'm occupying a space that the waiters are not used to blackness, my voice matters. Ancestors are on me with this. I don't know why, but I want to explain to some of us who you only think your voice matters when you're invited to spaces and places. I want you to walk away today knowing your voice matters in every single space. Your voice deserves that space. I just really want to leave that because I feel it so much. So as I'm working on myself, self-decolonization. I'm going to tell you a secret, everybody. Get ready for this. As I work on myself, like the great Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. As I am working on my self-emancipation, as I'm working on my self-decolonization, my voice, get ready for this, my voice has become stronger. When I started this work in 2022, exactly September 2022, when I started this journey of self-decolonization, I had no idea what would happen. I wanted to be better. at what I do. I heard somebody say, are you hearing me? Give me a thumbs up if you're hearing me. Give me a love. Give me something if you're hearing me.
We hear you.
Okay, wonderful, because I know I heard somebody say they're not hearing. Wonderful. When I started working on my self-decolonization, I had no idea what would happen. All I know was that I wanted to understand who I was as a black man more. I wanted to understand African spirituality more, because I know that there are certain things that I'm feeling when I'm in church and religious spaces that is in contradiction with my body. I wanted to fall in love with me more. When I said me, I mean black me. Black little boy from Kingston, Jamaica. I want to fall in love with all that is me, my skin, my lips, my hair. I want to fall in love with that more. But I had no idea what that would lead to. And I can tell you, it has led to a clearer voice. I listened to myself speaking in the last 4 years, and I could tell you my voice is clearer. It's deeper, it's stronger, it's connected. I'm sitting right now speaking to you, and I can tell you the energy in my body right now, I cannot even explain to you. And that is because I have worked on self. So what I want to leave with you are 5 things, because I know we got to move on. I want to leave with you 5 things I want you to be a little bit more intentional about. And the first one is know who you are. I know you said, Dr. ABC, I know who I am. They put my title on the door at the CRA. I work at one of the most prestigious organizations, the CRA, and my label is on the door. It's in my email signature. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. You are so much more than the 5 lines on your email signature. This morning I told some workers here that I am the child of Doris Adina Campbell and Cassidy Lloyd Alman Campbell. He saw something in my backyard and he asked me, and I said to him, that's my mother and that's my father. I am knowing that I am the child of amazing black parents who loved and cared for me. And as I work on my identity, I am realizing I didn't grow up as poor as I thought. I had richness of love of a mom and a dad. I had richness of a mom who would put her hands and pray over me. I want you to walk in those things that are not valued and highlighted on your email signature. I am the director of the Center for Black Studies. What a privilege. What a title. I am an assistant professor at the University of Toronto. What a privilege. What a blessing. What a title. But I'm deeper than that. I am a brother to Cassandra Campbell. I am an uncle to Jordan. I am a best friend to Damian Crawford. I feel you, ancestors. And I want you to learn that you are deeper and bigger and more than the titles you carry, because oftentimes you are down, you are depressed, you are downtrodden because you are stuck on just one identity, the one they gave to you. Who are you? Walk in your identity. The second thing I want to leave with all of us is be bold. I know you're on social media. A lot of you are on social media. And there's a thing on social media, especially with black women speak, and people would say, what an audacity. I want to have her audacity. And they would say on social media, she's exactly who she says she is. I'm going to say something very bold right now. I am exactly who I think I am. And that's not shade. That's not arrogance. That's not being show off. That is knowing who you are and walking into it. I wish I had 10 more minutes, but I don't. But let me tell you something. Oftentimes, many of us, we struggle in our workspaces because we do not know who we are. So they assigned us a role and they tell us who we're supposed to be. They tell us how strong our voices should be. They tell us how important we should see ourselves. I want you to walk away today being a little bit more audacious. I want you to act with a little bit more audacity. Stop letting people humble you. I grew up in a Pentecostal church, and I grew up in a Pentecostal church that taught us from the Bible, come on now, that says, he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. And we were taught how to humble ourselves from the same Bible that the slave masters used to make themselves rich. So here am I, humbling myself, working for masters who own acres and acres of houses and lands and slaves. I rubbish the idea of humbling myself. I, Andrew Campbell, have rubbish that teaching of humbling myself. It came from a place of putting us down. It came from a place of making you feel like you're never enough. You're not good enough. Anybody notice how often black folks are using this term? What is that term we use? It's going to come back to me in a minute. It's going to come back to me in a minute. When imposter syndrome. I'm going to shock you. There is no way on record you could ever find, Google me, I have ever used the word imposter syndrome. Where did that come from? Who put that on us? Who put that idea that we are impostoring? I don't know if that's a word, but that's my word. I am the director of one of OIS's center. That's not imposter. That is something that I deserve. I am qualified. I was asked to do that job. Stop shrinking yourself. Our ancestors would need to be proud of us. As I left Ghana on August 2022, I sat on the shores of the Atlantic and the water ran up to me and I started to cry. I burst into tears, myself and two other persons who were there with me. I called their names, Tanisha from in the USA and Gillette Allen from Toronto. We sat on the banks, the shores of the Atlantic, and we all started to cry. And I walk away that day knowing I am my ancestors' wildest dream. You cannot be your ancestors' wildest dream if you keep on shrinking yourself. And so I want to leave that with you. Learn, the third thing, learn to center blackness. Stop thinking blackness as an afterthought. Learn to center your blackness. Center who you are as a black person. The fourth thing, I have 3 minutes to go, is I want you to walk in community. They have used one weapon against us for years and they still use it even today. Divide and conquer. Stop letting them make you a super token. I've said it at the university. It's not a secret. You could tell them. I have said it at the university many times. I don't want to be the only black professor there in anything. I don't want no award to be the only black. I wish for no only black award. I'm telling you right now, if you have an award for me and it says the only black, I'm telling you, I don't want it. Send me a ticket, let me travel. Send me money to buy clothes. I don't want no medal, no plaque, nothing that says I am the only black. We have to stop being the only black. Why don't I have 10 minutes or 20 minutes today to speak? We have to stop being the only black. We have to walk in community and bring others with us. We have to stop letting them put us on a pedestal. I wish I had a story to tell you. I wish I had time to tell you how I was asked many years ago to do something really bad to a racialized person. And the manager of the place at that time said to me, well, you know, you are not like them. I said, excuse me? I said, excuse me? So she wanted to bring me in a corner so we can speak down to other racialized folks because I was the director at that time of a private career college. And she's wanting me to know, you're not like them. And I said, I'm exactly who they are. A black immigrant, gay man. I'm exactly who they are. I come from humble beginnings. I came to Canada with 2 red suitcases. I'm exactly who they are. I may not have crossed some border or lived in some, what do you call it, refugee camp, but I'm exactly who they are. Learn to walk in community. And the last thing, because I got to go because I'm going to another event. The last thing is self-care is powerful. I want you to engage in your self-care. Self-care is powerful. We are big on resilience. We are big on resistance. I feel that, ancestors. Thank you. We are big on fighting. We are big on holding the line. We are big on putting our hands up. Power. Black Lives Matter. But I want you to be a little bit bigger on your self-care. I'm speaking to all you black women, especially black women listening to me. I want you to engage in your softness. I want you to put on that beautiful dress. Even on an emancipation weekend like this, I want you to pour yourself a glass of mimosa. I want you to go outside. I want you to sit with your good girlfriends. And I want you to luxuriate in your black and your softness. The next time you invite me back, I need 25 minutes because I have things I need to say. I want you to go outside, black men. And I want you to engage in softness. Put your foot up on the sofa. Pour yourself a cold iced beer. Or like me, something stronger. And sit yourself a little bit in softness. I'm going to close with this. In my 2024 visit to Ghana, I've been to Ghana every single year since 2022. In 2024, I went to a part of Ghana, the banks of the Volta River. And I sat at a luxury hotel, the Safari Village Hotel in Volta, Ghana. And I sat on the banks of the river having dinner. Beautiful, fabulous restaurant. Good money. Okay, come on now. Come on now. And I sat there, was sipping a glass of wine, and all of a sudden, tears start running down my eyes. And I said, ancestors, there is softness here. I said, ancestors, there is softness here. I'm writing an entire book chapter on softness. I want to leave you today, especially you black folks who are listening. You deserve softness. Next time I am invited, that's going to be my topic. I'm working on that chapter, and I'll bring it back to you the next time you invite me. You deserve softness. And that goes to every single one of you listening. The allies, the other persons in the room. We all need to know we deserve softness. Thank you for having me. I got to go. I'm going to another event that was planned before yours. Hint, hint. It's a blessing to be here. Thank you for having me.
On behalf of the group, thank you so much. From the bottom of our heart, I'm happy that we connected through your energy. The ancestor channel you. Next time, I'm sure